What's going on, fellow Illuminaries? Welcome back in. I am Continentals, the Mad Titan of the Illuminary, and the LoreCast just wrapped up. There was a ton of news, so let's get right into it. First off, Ryan talked about the dates for the Continentals for Euros and the North American, and the European one will be December 6th through the 8th, 2024 at Disneyland Paris. Very exciting. And then the North American Continentals will take place January 10th through the 12th at the Disneyland Hotel at the Disneyland Resort, of course. And then they didn't share the date for Worlds taking place at the Walt Disney World Resort, but they shared this amazing like HD like fresh version image of the whole new world art. So that's great. So we have set 6 news, very exciting. It's called Azurite Sea. It will release at your friendly local game store on November 15th, 2024 in the mass retail big box environment on November 25th, 2024. So right in time for the holiday. So as you can see, we have the pack art here. And then here's the Trove. And the thing I really like about the Trove is that Stitch lore counter looks incredible. And the ink dividers have different characters on it, which I think that's a way to upgrade them, like spruce them up a little bit. And then we have our starters, and the ink combos are really cool. So the first one is Emerald and Sapphire, which if you keep up with the Lorcana metagame right now, with how Clarabelle is going, that is a very prominent ink combo that is starting to come up. So I think that's really cool. And then the next one is Ruby and Amber, which if you are a fan of the Mufasa deck, of course, you know all about that ink combo, but you can play it without Mufasa. There's a variation without it. I enjoy both, but I think these are great ink combos. I love how Ravensburger is mixing everything up. And then, of course, let's talk about accessories, right? So, first up, for sleeves, we have Scar, and we have, of course, community guy, Yuan. We have Honey Wizard, Winnie the Pooh. That Honey Wizard mat, can't find it anymore, but it's phenomenal art. So, if you have the mat, you can now get a Honey Wizard deck box. And Scar has one too, and the Honey Wizard sleeve. So that's very exciting for all you Honey Wizard fans out there. Now we have a gift set, and it is all Stitch related, and that is so cool. Stitch is, of course, a very popular character, and so let's look at that real quick. And as you can see, we have a binder, and it's really cool because it has all of the art that features Stitch as of this current point in Disney Lorcana. So you can see the front and back, and that's very cool. And then it has a promo. So let's take a look at the promo. It is called Stitch Alien Buccaneer. It is an emerald. It's a rare. It costs 4 ink. It's a non-inkable that has 3 strength, 4 willpower, and 2 lore pips. It ships for 3 with an effect that says when you play this character with shift, you may put an action from your discard on top of the deck. Now, naturally, I am somewhat of a degenerate player, and my mind went to mill. So, shift with Stitch, and put a whole new world back on top. Have a way to draw it, and sing a whole new world. Make your opponent drop their hand and draw 7. Speaking of Stitch, there were some other Stitch cards that Ryan revealed on the Lorecast, and the first being the Galactic Council Chamber. This is a location in steel that costs 3 ink, is inkable, has a movement cost of 1 and 7 willpower, so it's kind of beefy, and a lore pip. And basically, while you have an alien or a robot character at this location, this location can't be challenged. So I think that's really cool. It forces your opponent to interact with the character that is at that location before they can deal damage by challenging. Of course, they can still use something like Along Came Zeus or Baboom, or remove it, of course, with something like Rise of the Titans. But I do like what they're going for. The art's also really cool. I like that Lilo Stitch is getting more love. And if you look like very tiny, like wherever it is up here, like in the middle, you can kind of see Experiment 66. So presumably, I'm assuming it's Experiment 66. So then, the next card is called Hot Potato. It is a 3-cost singable action in steel where you choose one, either deal damage to your chosen character or you banish an item. And I thought that this card was interesting because it's kind of a mix of like Baboom and Rise of the Titans a little bit. So I'm interested to test with this card and see how I feel about it going forward. All right, so one of the big announcements that came out of this was a franchise I personally have been waiting a long time for, and that is Big Hero 6. Baymax and friends are here. I'm super, super excited. So they showed off some of them. So let's take a look. Plus, there were some additional ones on the website that I pulled. So let's go ahead and look at the first one. So we're going to look at Fred first. Fred is an emerald. He is a 1-cost inkable glimmer that has 1 strength, 1 willpower, and a lore pip. That basically says that when he's challenged, you gain 2 lore. I think this is very cool. Next out, our next team member is Honey Lemon. So she is also an emerald. And they are really leaning into the inventor tag, and I think that is really cool. And so she is a 2-cost inkable character that is 1 strength, 1 willpower with 2 lore pips. This basically says when you play her, you may pay 2 ink to have each of your opponent discard 1. So hand destruction, very cool. And then next up we have Go Go Tamago. So another emerald glimmer that costs 2 ink and is inkable, is a 2 strength, 2 willpower with a lore pip, and she has evasive. And then she says that when you play her, you may pay 2 ink and you gain lore equal to damage on chosen character on your opponent's board. So for myself, who loves the design of what happened in Shimmering Skies with Emerald, being able to incorporate that with Steel with a damage-centric focused deck, this fits perfectly for that. And then we have Wasabi, our next team member. So Wasabi is a 4-cost inkable glimmer who's in Sapphire. He has that Eventer tag as well. If Gogo did and I didn't mention it, my bad. But Wasabi is 3 strength, 3 willpower with a lore pip. It says when you play him, you may banish an item and you gain 1 lore. And then during your turn, he gains evasive. So again, for the item deck, I think this card has a good bit of potential, and I love the art of him like slicing through the chains and stuff. I think that's really cool. Now let's move on to Hero Hamada. There's 2 cards for Hero. So the first one, he's in Sapphire, of course. He is an Inventor, and so the first hero we're going to look at is he is a 3-cost inkable character that has 0 strength, 3 willpower with a lore pip. That basically you exert him, you pay 2 ink, you search your deck for an item or a robot character, you reveal it, and then you shuffle your deck and put it on top. So I think that's really cool to help maybe dig for dime or some kind of item that you might need. Who knows what's going to get revealed in this set. Maybe go find a Baymax, we'll get to him, and then put on top. And then if you have a way to draw the card. The next hero that pulled this off the website. So the other hero we have, he's a rare in Sapphire. So he is a 4-cost inkable, 1 strength, 5 willpower with a lore pip. That basically says your other inventors gain resist +1. Very cool. And then you pay 2 ink, you look at the top card of your deck, and you either place it on the top or bottom of your deck. So a bit of cycling. That's always good. And moving on to our favorite healthcare companion, Baymax, we have 2 we're looking at. The first is a 3-cost inkable character in Sapphire that has 0 strength, 4 willpower, and 2 lore pips. And what he does is essentially, if you have a inventor character in play, which you will from your other teammates outside of Fred, you're going to pay you pay 1 ink less in order to play him, so making him a 2. I think that's really cool. Then his secondary ability is you pay 2 ink, remove up to 1 damage from chosen character. So of course very thematic for Baymax to heal. And we can take a look at our first legendary. I really, really love this card. So of course he is a robot in Sapphire, 5-cost inkable that has 2 strength, 6 willpower, and 2 lore pips. And he says that when you play this character or when he quests, you may remove up to 2 damage from chosen character, and you gain 1 lore equal to the damage that was removed, so up to 2. So I think it's a great way to lore rush and gain some additional lore. And now they made the announcement at D23. It got all the rave, and they are finally here. Rescue Rangers. Continuing on with Disney Afternoon with the Rescue Rangers. So let's talk about, of course, our two favorites, Chip and Dale. So there's two chips we're going to talk about. So the first one is he's a 3-cost inkable. That's an amber that has 3 strength, 3 willpower with a lore pip. That basically says when played, a chosen character gets a +1 lore pip. So he's kind of like the 3-cost bodyguard musketeer Donald that gives someone an additional lore pip. So he got another way to go about doing that. Obviously, he just doesn't have bodyguard. Then the other chip is an amber 4-cost inkable that has 3 strength, 4 willpower with 2 lore pips. That basically says if you have a Dale in play, he gains this character gains support. So, that's pretty cool. He's all about friendship, and I think that's really cool. So the first Dale we're going to look at is in Amber. He costs 3 ink, is inkable, has 3 strength, 4 willpower with 2 lore pips, and basically he enters plays exerted unless you have a chip in play. Now, and then our second Dale is a 4-cost inkable character in Amber that has 3 strength, 4 willpower, and a lore pip. And this guy is hilarious. I love the art on this card. So basically, when you play him, you send the top 3 cards of your deck to your discard pile, and then you give chosen character -3 strength until the start of your next turn. So basically, as you see in the art, he's like chucking 3 acorns at your opponent, and that could be great for doing Shisu shenanigans, for doing Kita shenanigans. There's all kind of like fun things. Maybe mix it in with part of your world. There's a lot of like fun things you could do with that that I think is really cool. This next card I am super excited about. So we have Gadget. So Gadget is in Sapphire, is a super rare that shifts for 4. Is a 6-cost that's inkable that has 3 strength, 6 willpower, and 3 lore pips. And essentially, what she says is while you have 3 or more items in play, you pay 1 less for Inventor. So if you want to go for a Inventor deck strategy, I think that is really cool. All right, we got a few more cards that got revealed during the LoreCast today. So let's look at the Mad Hatter's Teapot. This is a 2-cost inkable item in Amethyst that says you exert it, you pay 1 ink, and then each opponent puts the top card of their deck into their discard. So again, we have more mill coming into the game. Next, we have Sishu. In her element, it's a 5-cost inkable character in Amethyst that has 3 strength, 6 willpower, and 2 lore pips. And Shisu just has Challenger +2. So pretty good. Next, we have Kakamora in Ruby. It's a 4-cost non-inkable character that has Rush, 5 strength, 2 willpower, and a lore pip. Moving right along with Ruby, we have Tigger. So Tigger is a rare 3-cost inkable that has 0 strength, 4 willpower, and a lore pip. Tigger also has evasive, and basically says that whenever you play an action, Tigger gets +1 strength and +1 lore pip. So pretty good. Next, we have Jim Hawkins. So more Treasure Planet love, always appreciated. So Jim is a super rare out of Amber that has 4 strength, 7 willpower, and 2 lore pips. Jim costs 7 ink to play, is inkable, so that's good. Has bodyguard, is a captain, pirate, and a hero. So hero and pirate and captain decks out there. There you go. As I said, has bodyguard. His ability is when you play this character, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You reveal any number of pirate characters among them, add them to your hand, and then you put the rest on the bottom of your deck. So yes, you are paying the cost for it. Yes, Jim has bodyguard. That 7 willpower is nothing to sneeze at. And yeah, I think obviously this has a lot of potential. 7 is a bit high, so of course maybe you might want to go like Sapphire to ramp to be able to play him a little bit quicker. But depending on what comes out, I do think this card might have some potential. And lastly, we're going to end on a legendary. It's the only appropriate way to end this, and that is with Yzma. So Yzma is in Amethyst, is a 4-cost inkable that has 3 strength, 3 willpower, and 2 lore pips. You exert her, and if you have fewer than 3 cards in your hand, you draw until you have 3 cards in hand. My first initial thought when they revealed it was the aggro deck. I do think that's something that's good for that, because that deck just spams their hand out as fast as possible. And I do think that is a good way. Maybe if you're playing against discard, of course, get your hand back up. So I do think potentially this card is going to be viable going forward. And there you have it. That's going to do it for today's video. Be sure to let me know down below what you thought. And I would really appreciate it if you would give me one of these. It's super impactful in helping the YouTube algorithm help this video find other Lumineers like yourself. If you enjoyed the Lorcana content here on the channel and you want to see more, do me a massive favor and type and smash that subscribe button and click that bell so you get notified when I upload new videos every Tuesday and Friday. As always, you can follow me on the artist, formerly known as Twitter, on X, at LoreCana. Thanks for watching, and I think you might enjoy these. So check out what else I have here on the channel, and remember, the hardest choices require the strongest wills. Bye!